Hello everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com with some breaking news, as many sites have reported in the past few minutes. I'm not sure which one the original source was, but I know where the news came from. Hulk Hogan appears to be set to appear at Crown Jewel on Friday in Saudi Arabia. As I mentioned, lots of sites have already reported on this news, but they all seem to stem from the fact that Hogan was added to the events page on WWE.com for Crown Jewel. There was no fanfare or big announcement or anything, but his image and name is on the events page, or at least at the time of recording, is on the events page. Now, this is very interesting. He's not been announced for a match or anything like that. I can only assume that he's going to be making some sort of appearance. This is obviously a very controversial decision, given just two very controversial situations colliding. On the one hand, we've got Hulk Hogan's whole racism scandal in the past, and the fact that WWE have been slowly trying to work him back into the kind of fabric of their ongoing product, without much success, it must be said. There was news a few months ago of like kind of friction backstage when Hogan appeared backstage at a show. I remember people like the New Day making statements, Titus O'Neil all kind of saying, you know, racism is not acceptable and that sort of thing. On the other hand as well, we've got the second controversial situation, which is the widening global political situation involving Saudi Arabia and the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. Now, this is just, I don't know what to really say about this, because this is a bold move, and that's an understatement, from WWE to potentially bring Hogan back at Crown Jewel. I guess maybe they're thinking that if they just combine the two controversial situations, that's the best way to do it, and then not as big a deal will be made out of it. I'm not entirely certain on their thinking here. This comes about half a day after the news that Renee Young is set to appear as a commentator at the event, or as part of the announced team, the Raw announced team, which was an exclusive, I believe, by Pro Wrestling Sheet. Now, that was kind of treated with a mixed reception. A lot of people were going, that's a great, you know, that's great development for a woman's role at a wrestling show in Saudi Arabia, but at the same time, a lot of people were going, it's kind of a transparent way for WWE to go, look, it's not too bad an event, we've got a woman on commentary. But this Hogan stuff, I just don't know what, I'm quite speechless, to be honest. Again, there's no news on what Hogan's going to be doing at the event, but he has not appeared on a WWE show on screen since the whole racism scandal from about 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago maybe. It's quite mind-boggling, and you know, I mean, we'll have updates with what goes down in the build-up to the show, because I'm sure a lot more is going to be said about this from various different angles, but I just can't see how this is going to go down. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens. In less controversial news, thanks to PW Insider, they have broken the news that WWE are looking to keep Trish Stratus and Lita on board with a view to a big tag team match at some point down the line. There was already news out there that WWE were going to keep them on for shows like maybe the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, big shows like that. But this seems to be more specific kind of plans for Trish and Lita, and it links in very interestingly with the rumoured Women's Tag Team Championship idea that's been floated about a lot recently. Stephanie McMahon, for example, talked to Sky Sports last week and said that it won't be too long before we see a set of Women's Tag Team belts. Again, there's no confirmation on whether these stories are linked. It could just be a big marquee tag team match for Trish Stratus and Lita, like the one at Evolution against Alicia Fox and Mickie James. Maybe they're going to wait for Alexa Bliss to recover, and then she'll be put in a tag match with them to make up for the fact that she missed out on that first one. Maybe it'll be a match for the Tag Team Championships. I don't really know, but if it is, and if Trish and Lita are one of the teams competing for that belt, or those set of belts, I'd imagine that they're not going to win it. I think the WWE would want to put have a newer team be the first to hold those Tag Team Championships. My gut feeling would be Sasha and Bayley, as like a reward for all the hard work they've done in helping women's wrestling progress over the past few years. More on both of those stories as they develop. Myself and Sam will be doing a live stream for Crown Jewel on Friday, with all proceeds made during the live stream to go to Amnesty International. So catch that if you are free around then. I believe it starts at 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon. Thank you very much for watching this news video. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me if you want to on Twitter at Jack the Jobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic, and check out our Patreon page as well if you wish. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, of course, if you haven't already, to hit subscribe and to join us.